you with 2 meters per second. Yet the ant will not recognize the fact that I am moving. It will tell the world that the distance between us is decreasing at 4 meters per second. So it will report that
we are moving towards you at 4 meters.
Exactly, that all the students are moving towards me with 4 meters per second. This is the concept of describing your motion with respect to me. Suppose if the same ant was sitting on your shirt and the motion to be described, it will describe my motion with respect to you, with respect to whosoever is being described. They are the observers, they are considered to be at rest, and you are describing the other's motion with respect to you. Now consider the same situation and put it in mathematical form. A is moving with a velocity of 2 meters per second towards B. Now I am interested to see velocity of A with respect to B. This will be velocity of A minus velocity of B. Velocity of A is 2 minus velocity of B is 0. 2 meters per second. And it is positive, so it will be in this direction. So you ask somebody, an ant sitting on B, it will tell the world that A is approaching B with 2 meters per second. We are happy about it. But what if you ask me, velocity of B with respect to A? That means now the ant is sitting on A. If the ant is sitting on A, velocity of B with respect to A will be velocity of B minus velocity of A. Now velocity of B will be, velocity of B is 0. Minus 2, this is minus 2 meters per second. Negative sign tells me that the velocity is in the opposite direction. That means velocity of B with respect to A. If there is an ant on A, it will not recognize the fact that A is moving. It will feel that B is approaching A with a velocity of 2 meters per second towards that. Hence it becomes negative. Is that making sense to all?
Yes, sir.
Have a look at this. Where from did you get the definition of relative velocity? You said velocity of 1 with respect to 2 is velocity of 1 with respect to ground minus velocity of 2 with respect to ground. Whoever is the observer, his position should be here. His velocity need to be subtracted. Here, it's like this. Suppose I am standing on a platform which is moving. My velocity with respect to the platform plus velocity of the platform with respect to the ground, you will get my velocity with respect to ground.
Yes, sir.
My velocity with respect to the platform, that means, now have a look at this. Velocity of 1 with respect to 2 plus velocity of 2 with respect to ground. Will you get my velocity with respect to ground?
Yes, sir.
Exactly the same way, my velocity with respect to the platform plus velocity of the platform with respect to the ground. Suppose I am moving with 2 meters per second and platform is also moving in the same direction with 2 meters per second. My velocity with respect to the ground will become 4.
4. Yes.
So 1 is me here. Velocity of mine with respect to the platform plus velocity of the platform with respect to the ground. You will get velocity of with respect to ground. So this is what you have written here. You have taken this towards the right hand side and you have written this. Whatever is the definition of relative velocity comes from here. Fine with this? No. Going one step ahead. All the problems. Relative velocity concept is all about looking at one problem using another frame. That's all, but your final end result should be the same. Suppose somebody is standing on the ground and describing the motion. Somebody is standing on another frame and describing the motion. Unless and until you go into relativity. In relativity you have got time dilation. That means the body is moving comparable to that of light. Till then, till you go to the concept of relativity, remember everything here will be related to, with respect to that particular body. Their final end result should be the same. Let us take one example to explain this principle. There is a thief sitting on a motorbike and drinking tea at a tea stall. At a distance of D, he spots, right? Listen. At a distance of D, he spots a policeman moving with a uniform velocity V. Right? He sees a policeman moving with a velocity of V. This thief is initially at rest. The distance between them is d. Both of them see each other simultaneously. Both of them see each other simultaneously. But then it's a question of life and death for the thief, so he starts moving with uniform acceleration. It's a question of a secure government job for the policeman. He'll continue to move with uniform velocity. Let us verify if this policeman catches the thief or not. Now, for him to catch the thief, the distance moved by the policeman and the thief, say they both meet here. So the policeman should have moved a distance of v into t. In the same time, the thief should have moved a distance of half at square, because his initial velocity is 0 and acceleration is a.
Yes,
By
sir.
the time he travelled a distance of half at square, the policeman should have travelled a total distance of vt. That means the policeman can catch the thief if and only if vt is equal to d plus half at square. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a quadratic equation in time t. Now, actually, in the question he is asking you, can the policeman catch the thief? Now, how can you assume that the policeman catches the thief and put the equation? The equation which you put is for a situation where the policeman catches the thief. Right? But then, what I am doing is, I am finding out the equation for the policeman catching the thief, and I will verify if this is a time, this is a proper value, this is a quadratic equation in time. If by chance the policeman is not able to catch the thief, you will not get real roots for time t. Fact that if you get real roots for time t, the policeman will be able to catch the thief. If you do not get real roots for time t, then that implies the policeman will not be able to catch the thief.
Yes, sir.
So this will be 2v by a, t is equal to 2d by a plus t square. So this will be t square minus 2v by a t plus
Plus DT.
p by a is 0. Now this quadratic equation should have real roots, implies the discriminant should be greater than 0. And if the discriminant is greater than 0, 4v square by a square minus b square minus 4ac should be greater than 0. So b square should be greater than 4ac, 8t by a.
80 by A.
V should be greater than root over of 2ED. If this condition is fulfilled, the policeman will be able to catch the thief. If the speed of the policeman was greater than 2 times the acceleration of the thief into the distance between the two, the policeman will be able to catch the thief. Is the problem very clear to all?
Yes,
Now
sir.
look at this problem with respect to thief. We are introducing the concept of relative velocity. Watch out for this very carefully. Basically, the concept of relative velocity is describing the motion of one body with respect to the other. Say
Yes, sir.
the thief is standing here. Behind the thief, there is a digital camera fit. Now, the digital camera, somebody is watching the policeman through the digital camera. Or say there is an ant behind the thief's back. That ant will not recognize the motion of the thief. It will only recognize the relative distance between the two. If the policeman catches the thief, it will only recognize that the policeman is approaching the thief. Right? And it will feel that the policeman moved a distance of how much d? Because the ant will feel that the thief is at rest. So describing the motion of the policeman with respect to the thief implies you are keeping the thief at rest and describing the motion of the policeman. Implies if the policeman should catch the thief, the policeman should travel a distance of d. Is that statement clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Now, I will solve the problem with respect to thief. With respect to thief. And concept of relative velocity will be applicable to all vectors. That means SR is equal to UR into T plus half AR into T square. The relative displacement of the policeman with respect to the thief. Remember, you were told with respect to thief meant displacement of the policeman minus displacement of the thief. Displacement of the policeman is this, displacement of the thief is this. Will I get the answer as a D?
Yes, sir.
And that is what we explained also. In the concept of relative velocity, we were telling you S1 minus S2. What is S2? S2 is the observer or the thief. Now here the displacement of the thief should be taken into consideration as the frame. So S1 is the total displacement, S2 is the displacement of the thief. Difference is D. On the contrary, if there is an ant behind the thief's shirt, it will feel that the policeman travelled a distance of D because it will not recognize the fact that the thief is moving. Next,
Yes, sir.
in this equation, remember I am taking S equal to ut plus half at square. If I take relative displacement, I should take relative velocity and I must take relative acceleration. Then time, why didn't you take relative? Time is a scalar quantity. You are running towards
Yes,
me, I am
sir.
running towards you. Your mass with respect to me or my mass with respect to you is the same. The mass will not change. Scalar quantities don't apply the concept of relative velocity. Now D will be equal to your relative initial velocity. We will take u1 minus u2. Which velocity minus which? Initial velocity of the policeman minus initial velocity of the thief. Why will you do that? Because the thief is the frame of reference. He is the observer. V minus 0 plus. Now acceleration of the policeman minus acceleration of the thief. All throughout,
Minus A.
everything is taken with respect to the thief. So it will be half 0 minus A into t square. I'll get D is equal to Vt minus half At square. Is this the same equation as that of this? D is equal to Vt minus half At square.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the final end result obviously should be the same because the equations are the same. This equation was describing the motion of the policeman with respect to the thief. Motion of the cop with respect to thief. Here you have described the motion of both of them with respect to ground. Is the logic clear? Write down the question. Policeman spots a thief at a distance of D, put a comma, while moving with velocity V, and then put a full stop. The thief simultaneously spots the policeman, starts accelerating with a uniform acceleration A, as shown in the figure. Find the time after which the thief is caught. Yeah. Right. The solution of this quadratic equation.
Yes, sir.
And what we actually did was the condition we found out for the policeman to catch the thief. This is the condition for the policeman to catch the thief. Velocity is greater than root over of 2AD is the condition for the policeman to catch the thief. That's what we derived. But in the question what we wrote is find the time after which the policeman catches the thief. First you will have to verify this condition. If it is right, then you will calculate the time. Time is the solution of this particular quadratic equation. Fine. Listen to this. Now suppose there is a man standing here and a man standing here. The distance between them is 10 meters and this man is moving with 4 meters per second and this man is moving with 6 meters per second. After how much time do they meet? Have a look at it.
1 second.
Obviously, try to solve these problems hereafter using relative displacement and relative velocity. What do you mean by that? Keep one of them at rest. This problem can be dealt with. Either tell me that this is moving with 6 and this is moving with 4. But if there is an ant on his shirt, the ant will realize the fact that this man is at rest and the distance between them is decreasing at 10 meters per second because this man is covering 4, this man is covering 6. Okay, so the ant will report to the world that this man is at rest and this man is moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second. How did you get that? He is at rest. 6 minus of minus 4 is 10. V1 minus V2. Whoever is the observer, their velocity is being subtracted. Fine. So,
Yes, sir.
velocity is displacement by time. Time is displacement by velocity. I will take both of them relative. Now what is the relative displacement? There is only one way that both of them can meet. Because now this particle is at rest. This man should have moved by a distance of 10.
Yes, sir.
And with what relative velocity? 10. Hence after 1 second the two people will meet. Is everybody convinced about this?
Yes, Yes, sir.
Now, this is not the actual problem that I want to discuss. We'll be using this in one of the problems. It's a very strange adjustment. Do you people have an idea on geometric progression?
Yes, sir.
The beauty in geometric progression is the way it rises exponentially, it falls also exponentially. If somebody tells me start with 2 plus 1 by 2 to the power 0 plus 1 by 2 to the power 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power 2 plus 1 by 2 cube, so on and so forth. Now 1 by 2 to the power 0 is 1. This is 0.5. 1 by 4, 0.25. 1 by 8, 0.125. So on and so forth. See if you are reaching the number 2.
Sir.
You will not reach this number 2. You will reach 1.99999. The reason being is the geometric progression. The next item onward, next number onwards, the fraction will become very, very small. So very small that it will not reach the number 2. The rate of fall will be so very abnormally high. People even in the ancient times had an idea on these progressions. Maybe not exactly geometric progression, but there is a famous joke which we read in the school books. It seems Akbar and Birbal were playing chess. One day Akbar was in very good mood and he thought he would win the match. He told Birbal, today you win over me, whatever you ask you will get. And as usual Akbar lost. He asked Birbal, what do you need? Birbal said, I need a few grains. Foot grains. Akbar was irritated. Generally people who reach Akbar ask him for precious stones, gems, diamonds, so on and so forth. This guy being one of the principal ministers in his court, he is asking him for few food grains. He was irritated. He called the courtiers and he told them, this beggar needs some food grains. Give him and send him. Let me not see him for the remaining part of the day. So Birbal left. After some time, the courtiers come back to Akbar and they tell him, sir, whole of the Mughal Empire doesn't have so many food grains. Not his courtiers. The Mughal Empire itself will not have so many food grains. Akbar was shocked. He called for Birbal and asked him, what did you do? What Birbal asked was, it seems on the square of the chessboard, there will be 8. 8 into 8. His number requirement was on one, the number of food grains will be 1 to the power 1. On the second one, 2 to the power 2. This will be 8 to the power 8. The last one will be 64 to the power 64.
Yes,
Just imagine, add all those food grains and give it to him. Now forget about all those food grains. This single slot also filling up will be difficult. 64 to the power 64. Look at the way it will rise. The previous number will be 63 to the power 63. That previous number will be 60 to the power 62. The last line is next to impossible. Nobody can fulfill so many food grains. So now have a look at one such type of problem based on geometric progression. Using relative velocity, the question comes this way, that two trains on the same track, both are moving with 60 kilometers per hour and 60 kilometers per hour. Let's give convenient numbers. Suppose they are moving with, let this be 60 kilometers, displacement, this be 90, 60, let this be 30 kilometers per hour and 30 kilometers per hour. Listen to the question completely. That trains on the same track, both of them are moving with 30 and 30 kilometers per hour. And obviously after 1 hour they will collide because of 60 kilometers here. Now there is a bird on one of the train which spots the other train when they are at a distance of 60 kilometers. The bird's maximum speed of flying, the bird's maximum speed of flying is 60 kilometers per hour. So immediately the bird leaves no time and quickly flies to the other train, tries to wake up the driver. He doesn't wake up. It flies back to this train. It tries to wake up this driver. It continues its to and fro journey between the two trains. It keeps jumping over from the two trains. The question asked was, how many trips do you think the bird can make? Now precisely consider the bird to be a point object. Dimensions of the bird are not given. How many trips do you think the bird can make before getting sandwiched between the two trains?